Hey, my name is Dan Westfall. My company is Client Focused Financial. This is based on a blog post that I put out there that I titled Stocks at an All-Time High Doesn't Mean Sell. So the reason that I came up with this, and this could have been a blog post that I put out there pretty much like throughout any time in my career, market movements are always a result of investors voting with their real money. So when stocks are sitting at an all-time high, which they have been for a lot of my career, I started my career in 2011, there's always been those haters out there that are just explaining why stocks are overvalued and why they're going to go down, and it just keeps going, the big drop is going to come. I used to have a client for the longest time that was always like, when's the big drop coming? And I always was always kind of like talking him off the ledge, because he always wanted to just had that fear of just pulling his money and pulling the ripcord ultimately to get out. So my favorite ultimately is when people are saying that the president's an idiot and stocks are going to have to drop. The last one was probably the most common that I've heard over the past decade of my career, whether it was Obama or Trump or now Biden. It all sounds the same. It just comes from different people based on their political backgrounds. And, those aren't reasons. President isn't a reason why you should be investing or not investing. If you look at charts over history, the market has done well regardless of Democrat or Republican. The major events that have happened in the stock market generally have nothing at all to do with who actually is the president. So I always like that last one where it's that the president's an idiot, because obviously there's a lot of that. There's a big politically tense environment right now for sure. So chart I have up here is the chart of the S&P 500 from 1928 through through today, through 2021. The stock market history lessons of 101 of the haters out there that they never learned is that market highs over time always have been followed by, not to be surprised, new stock market highs. So, and that's just really a vote on the US as a country, that are we going to keep growing as a country? Because if you don't think as a country we're going to do well, then you shouldn't invest your money in US stocks. So that's plain and simple. If you think that all of a sudden that we're going to become China someday, probably not. You invest your money in China then. So putting your money in the US stock market is really a bet on us growing as an economy and as a country, and continually doing what we've done as a country here over the last 100 years with improving our economy and improving our middle class and helping average investors or people that want to invest, giving them the access to the stock market. And it's become easier and easier now to invest in the stock market, which is one of the things we've seen here over the last year with the Robinhood investors of the world that are helping really drive markets higher. So often investors fear that inevitable will drop, that really is just misguided fear. This dives into the psychology part that makes investing so hard, even when most investors know that the longer you're invested, the more money you end up making. This phenomenon of letting your money sit there and over time growing is something that's called compound interest. And compound interest, Albert Einstein was quoted as saying that that's one of the most powerful forces in the world. And he's right, because the longer you let something compound, the bigger it becomes. So studies have proven that losing money on an investment is far more painful than the satisfaction from making money on an investment, which is why investing is so hard. All-time highs in the market or a single stock show that real people are voting yes with their money on that stock or on the market as a whole. That's not a negative sign, that's a positive sign. So yes, I agree that sometimes an all-time high can be a negative sign and be followed by a drop in prices, specifically when the stock market or a specific stock has gone up too quickly. So perfect example would be GameStop in the beginning of 2021, spiking for really no apparent reason other than the Reddit traders on Wall Street Bets really getting behind it and driving it to ridiculous prices, which you can see in the chart here, where it was and where it went to ultimately, which, that's a great example of a specific individual stock really just going out of control for no real reason at all, which subsequently followed a pretty big drop in the price and a lot of volatility moving forward there. So taking a long-term view towards investing isn't fun and exciting in the short term, but sticking to a long-term strategy will be the best way to help grow your money. There's always going to be that person out there that is, saying that they invested their life savings in a cryptocurrency like Bitcoin or Ethereum in the early days, and now they're multimillionaires. Those are all over social media. I don't know if it's just because I'm an investment manager, but I see it on my Instagram all the time with all these, Instagram, like instantly millionaire people on Instagram that put all their money in Bitcoin or, in these cryptocurrencies, and then they're trying to get you to buy into some program or sell you something, which makes me question, are they really a millionaire? Because why would they need me to pay for some class? But I'm sure you guys see that on your social medias too. But those stories are they're the people that ultimately had a little bit of money, invested that, now they're millionaires, and that's not a normal thing, and it's also not a very, something that can be consistently followed either. So these people try to, put their cookie cutter stamp on it and say, if I did it, you can do it too. But generally speaking, there's a lot more people that end up losing money trying to follow that trend of some niche sort of investment that's brand new like that, versus sticking with tried and true methods of long-term investing and letting your money grow through compounding interest. So those are some things that I thought were interesting to talk about, which is why I wanted to put that blog post together, because a lot of people do think that all-time highs mean that the market should drop, and I've seen throughout my career how inconsistently wrong those people are. Not to say that there haven't been big drops throughout my career, because there have, but those are then followed then by rebounds in the market. And over time, as you saw in that first chart, the stock market has grown over time. And that's the bigger point behind investing in the stock market, is that long term, you're going to make more money by staying invested in it. So happy investing to all of you. I hope you guys learned something from this. If you have questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to talk with you specifically about your situation. If you want to leave me comments on social media that you think that this was a dumb post, or on my YouTube here, go for it. If you like these posts and you want me to continue talking about different topics like this, I'll keep putting these out there, and I can give you guys can give me your feedback from there, and give me some topics that you'd like me to talk about. So appreciate you taking the time to check me out. Until next time.